What's happening? Professor Mike, Coach T, back again. Saturday, weekend, happy days, cool technique, the final one of our side control finishing series. This week you should have now 6 techniques after today. That's a whole arsenal, a weapon system in side control, all right? Add that to the mount week and the back week. Man, you're a killer. Okay, let's have a look what it looks like. Save maybe the best to last, okay? Paper cut choke or bread cut choke, whichever one you want to call it. All right, this is a choke, it's not a strangle, okay? It does apply pressure to the neck, but the arm position means that it's coming down across my opponent's windpipe, applying pressure to the neck, okay? And it will finish everybody. The key detail here is how we clear this arm. We have to get this arm cleared, and you have to understand how to do that. Now, this is a topic I could talk half an hour on, right? We haven't got that, so I'm going to show you the way I like to do it. All right, but there's lots of different ways. The key thing, remember, we need to disconnect our opponent's elbow from his rib cage. If it's in here, there is no finish, because we need to get underneath this arm, all right, and glue our opponent's shoulder to the mat in order for us to be able to get the finish here to finish the choke. All right, so how do I get underneath there when he's locked in position? Very difficult. Watch this. If he's flat on his back with his elbow to the mat locked in, that's the hardest place to do it, right? As soon as I roll my opponent this way, look what happens. His elbow becomes available. All right, so I want to think about getting my opponent to turn this way. Now, how do I do that? You might think, well, it's easy. You just apply pressure to the neck, right? The problem with that is, when I'm here in a normal side control, my opponent's elbow is still underneath. So even when I make him move, he can't physically move his arm up and out of the way because I'm in the way. All right, so the way I like to do it is to switch my hips so I'm facing my opponent's legs. All right, a bit like I'm going to go and progress to the mount. So it looks like this. Take my position here. I'm going to come over. I'm going to re-grip my opponent's belt to anchor me in and switch my hips to the side here. And I'd like to get my opponent's arm on the inside. Okay, if we turn again, Coach T, please. It's really important we anchor ourselves on the belt here, because if we don't, our opponent can just run away. So make sure I'm nice and tight. And ideally, what I'm looking for is to get this elbow on the inside. Now look, if it's loose and high here, this hand can just punch through and I'll get the position. But sometimes I need to just elevate it a bit more. How do I do that? Well, I can use my rib cage to press on my opponent's head and make him look this way. I can get my knee to lift my opponent's elbow and disconnect it from the mat. So he's looking this way, it means he can't turn in, he can't put his elbow to the mat, and my bottom knee can lift up and present this elbow to me. All right, that's a key detail of getting our opponent's elbow disconnected from his body. If he's down on the mat, nice and tight, it's difficult. Okay, all I need to do is get my knee underneath, lift and present. Now look, if I wanted to Kimura from here, I come underneath and I can go to Kimura positions. If I want to do the paper cut choke, I come through the gap. So I punch through over my opponent's arm and swim back through. And what I'm aiming to do is grab my opponent's collar at the back. So right at the back of the collar, I'm going to grip there. Okay. Now we've got the grip. We've got the grip here. Now I switch my base again. So I've gone from here, switch, and a lot of pressure going down now. All right? I want to be heavy. Sorry, Coach T. I need to be heavy. If I'm sat on the floor here, okay, we're in a great control position, but there's too much space. All right, so I'm going to try and be nice to Coach T, but I need to put some pressure down. Sorry, man. Okay, foot up for base, allow me to put some pressure in, shoulders into the middle of my opponent's chest. He will defend here, because if he doesn't, I'm going to grip, and I'm into the finish. So he has to grip here. Now, years gone by, people used to come underneath, grab here and loop round. If you get across the top, I can always get here, because when he's defending, he's not going to release this. If he goes to stop me doing that, I'm going to come underneath. So if I come here, the problem is, to finish, he can just pull his head up, and I can't physically get my arm across his head to finish. Very difficult. I need to come across. How do I do that? He's nice and tight here. I can't get through. I'm going to grab his wrist. grab his wrist, pull it down his chest, and pin it with my head. All right? It's hard for him now to stop my arm coming through. Bring your hand back in, Coach T. It's too late. It's momentarily, right? Here, look, pin. Head does the job. Come through, grab a grip on the far side. Now the elbow goes to the mat. As the elbow goes to the mat, I turn my hips and I lay down. I sprawl. And loosen it off a little bit for the man. My elbow comes to the floor. As he comes to the floor, sprawl, I will tap him from there. If he doesn't tap, because I've loosened it off, I simply lift my elbow high, and the higher I push my elbow to the head, the more pressure goes to the neck. Okay then. Sorry, it's a nice tight one. It's pretty painful on the neck here. That's why it's one of my favourites. Okay, let's look again. Maybe it's just me. It's just like these painful finishes. So we get our grip. Remember, if we want to get this elbow disconnected, one of the nicest ways to do that is to switch our base over the top of the arm, get underneath, punch over, grab here. Now I switch my base heavy. It's a great control position, this, because he can't roll away because I've got his elbow. It's difficult for him to come towards me. I'm looking to get through here, but he's defending, so I grab the wrist. I punch it down his chest, a millimetre, about an inch, cover with my chin and my head, re-grip here. Now I drop my elbow to the mat, sprawl. When you put your elbow down, that's your finish, that's the tap. Loosen it off. If you don't get it, all right, we lift our elbow high, and that will get the finish. Resist the urge of twisting this way. I see a lot of people twist this way. All it does is put you off balance. You want to be sprawled to the mat, hips down, elbow driving down, and then lever the head to get the finish. All right, man. Yeah. Happy days. He's got Sunday off. He'll be fine. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the whole week of side control finishes. If you've got any questions, hit us up at the comments below. Anything you want to see, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, and just get in touch. We'd like to hear from you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.